if you have thought about moving here, or maybe you've already decided, we're gonna help you figure out exactly where you wanna land. Welcome to Luxury Homes North Idaho. I'm Sarah Cline.
I'm Greg Rowley.
And our channel is all about showing you the most beautiful homes in our area and the different ways people live here so that we can help you figure out where you fit in. And we have Mr. Greg Rowley with us. He is a top producing agent, has been for a long time. Greg, tell us a little bit more about yourself. Born and raised.
Not born, I was born in Seattle, but my folks moved here before I was old enough to make memories. My dad was a police officer in King County, Seattle, had a Molotov cocktail thrown at his squad car, came home,
that's it.
Loaded the station wagon. We literally had a wood paneled station wagon, like the Griswolds. They got on the freeway, drove east, and this is where they got off the highway, off the freeway, 51 years ago.
Okay.
And I've been here ever since. As a young adult, I didn't realize how special it was living here and tried to move to different parts of the country, you know, the allure of living in San Diego and some places like that after college, but realized pretty quickly how special it was here. It took me going away a couple different times till I realized how special it is here and came back and no looking back. But to answer your question, I professionally, prior to real estate, was a golf professional here in town. I was at the Hayden Country Club for a number of years, 8 seasons there, and then used to go back and forth to a golf club called the Coeur in La Quinta, California. I just drive overnight and start work in California the next day, and so Easter to Halloween here and Halloween to Easter there. And then in 2003, when the new golf club Black Rock opened up, I was fortunate enough to be named the director of golf there. I worked there for a number of years, and that was really my entry point into real estate. So from just growing up here as a happy young man, playing all the high school sports, turned it into a golf career, and then real estate.
Yes, and it's changed quite a bit.
Indeed it has. We talked in some of the other episodes about the dramatic changes along the river where the sawmills are now thriving and bustling real estate communities. But we're sitting in front of the Coeur d'Alene Resort. I remember when the resort was built. It used to be the North Shore Hotel, and my first job at 14 years old was as a busboy here in the resort. So
kind of a rite of passage. It was also my first job.
Was it? Yeah.
Yep. So like we said, today we want to help you figure out, you know, North Idaho is an outdoor paradise. People come here and enjoy all sorts of recreation, many different, a variety of lifestyles here to enjoy, and it can be hard to narrow down. I mean, there's only time for so many things with our hobbies. You know, my husband's like, okay, well, we can't do it all. We're gonna boat to golf and, you know, mountain biking, dirt biking. Some people prefer, you know, believe it or not, I had a conversation this week with someone who's going to be leaving Hayden Lake to go move to the trees. They want to be in the forest, they want land, property, privacy. So there's a full menu.
Yes.
And we're going to take you through what that looks like by map so that you can get a visual as to, you know, depending on what your preferences are, what your interests are, where you might want to explore. So we will start with downtown, since we are downtown, and that is appealing to many people. You get to enjoy, there's not true waterfront downtown.
Not much. The city planners, who knows how many, 100 years ago, really had, I think, very wise foresight to leave some of the pristine waterfront that we're even looking at here as available to the public, the city beach and Tubbs Hill. It would be prime waterfront real estate, but as Sarah said, they had the foresight to make it open space so it's accessible to everybody.
Right. Yeah. So if you want to be on the water and that's a priority to you, where are you looking?
Well, down the west or the east side, and those come with a lot of pros and cons, and we've talked about that in the other episodes, but true waterfront close to town, you end up actually looking up the river, and the mouth of the Spokane River is just right over here, and that's, you get into Belle Reve and Riverstone in that part of town. That's really the closest in true waterfront. But there's an awful lot on the menu as you go east, west, and south from where we are now. But saying it's not true waterfront, it's certainly accessible. Clearly behind us, it's easy enough to have a boat on the marina and ride your scooter or your bike down here to get on the boat, which is a pretty sexy way to live.
Yeah, so downtown lifestyle, you're in the mix of it all. You've got live music, farmers markets. You can jump on the Centennial Trail either direction, down into Riverstone or towards Higgins Point.
Art walk, galleries, shopping, art on the green, Alene.
Yes.
Ironman, 4th of July parade, 4th of July fireworks. It's all literally trip and fall distance when you live down here.
All very walkable. And as you're looking on the map, as you move north, Midtown has really started expanding. There's been new retail, new restaurants. So I feel, with the Trader Joe's coming to town.
Is that called gentrification? I think
there is a word for that.
There is a word for that, yes.
Yeah.
Midtown, interestingly, when I was a kid, that used to be where the car lots were. And then all the car lots,
are a few.
A couple that still moved out. They moved out to the highway and the freeway. And for years, you could sort of hear the sucking sound of empty Midtown. And now in recent history, it's backfilled with a real nice foodie culture. Like she said, Trader Joe's. And it's definitely a part of town that's on the rise and a lot of fun to park and ding around down there.
Yeah. So downtown is that, urban lifestyle like we've been talking about. Also Riverstone, just adjacent here. Certainly biking distance.
That is really the first entry point to our local market of the real quintessential live, work, play environment. There are condos on the second floor of commercial spaces. There are homes on the waterfront that are 1 block up from the movie theater. So it's almost like a second downtown, which has come with a whole nother set of lifestyle options, which augment this really nicely. It offers a whole nother opportunity to experience some of the real good stuff that we love around here.
The amenities, yeah. Actually, we had someone call about our listing on Shoreview, which is just down the way, Atlas Mill River area in River's Edge, and they were asking about, how long will it take to get into downtown? But they weren't familiar that how much had been developed in Riverstone. It's like truly you can just walk up to shopping. There's farmers markets there, the movie theater. It is a second downtown, as you said.
There isn't a grocery store nearby, so you would drive in a little bit to find groceries. But other than that, there's everything you need, and if you can fill your veggie cooler with farmers market stuff, that's not a bad way to do it either.
Yeah, no doubt. So if you're not a downtown urban lifestyle person, and maybe you had somebody you were talking about who came and were looking at some of those opportunities and what the downtown area has to offer, but when they were introduced to property, which they didn't know existed, they were discovering these pockets just outside of downtown. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, we mentioned it in another episode that oftentimes people come to town and they just don't know necessarily the area well enough to understand what's available and how that relates to lifestyle, and B, how far their money goes. And I had some people in town over the weekend. We looked at 3 or 4 houses right downtown by the park in the Garden District, homes that they loved. Started vision casting themselves living near the marina. He even mentioned once during the search, boy, I really love this idea of being down here with a boat nearby. And then we also looked at some homes south of the river, 10 minutes away. And it was a home on 10 acres that was roughly the same price as the downtown home. And then they started saying, well, we do like riding dirt bikes, and on 10 acres we could carve in some of our own trails and do that thing. So I didn't know at the start that was of interest to them. And they left this weekend, I think, unsettled on what actually they would like to do, but sort of hair blown back that the rural life is actually so close in that would offer them the opportunity to do some of the dirt biking and hunting and things that the forest exploration that you wouldn't necessarily do at your front door down here, although it is a short distance. But
yeah.
I don't know if they've settled on anything, but as outdoor enthusiasts, it's all on the table.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that is something that is common feedback that we hear, because in other major metropolitan areas that doesn't exist. You can't be in downtown Seattle and ride your dirt bike within 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So that's a little farther out, whereas there are so many pockets that surround downtown Coeur d'Alene where you can do that, whether it's on your own property or if you're on the can trails up at Canfield Mountain.
Yep.
If you're into mountain biking or dirt biking, there is a French Gulch area, Cougar Gulch, south of the river area, which you were talking about. Obviously all around Hayden, the pockets of Hayden.
And the thing that we haven't touched on, because we're here in the front end of the summer season, but the folks I was with over the weekend specifically were interested in winter activity as well, and questions about snowmobile parks and ski mountains. And we've got 4 ski mountains within an hour, Schweitzer being kind of the big mountain. It's got a true ski in, ski out village at the top of the mountain. And
part of the Icon Pass.
Yep. And then the 2 snowmobile parks, one at the state line of Idaho and Montana, and the other up the Fernand Saddle. There's actually world-class snowmobiling here as well within reach.
Yep.
So it's 4 seasons of activity, and it's all close in.
Talk to me about, he gets a lot of inquiries from golf fanatics and people that are excited to come up here and spend their days golfing. Besides the private clubs, what are the opportunities here? There's
17 golf courses in the county. As far north as Stone Ridge and Blanchard, as far south as Circling Raven at the Whirly Casino. 3 golf courses in Post Falls, Prairie Falls, the Links, the Highlands. My first job in golf business was actually at the Highlands. Not that you care, but I was a busboy at that restaurant after working here, and I kept looking at the golf pros while I was hustling around bussing tables, and they just look so cool in their golf attire over there standing behind the counter. And I thought, what do I have to do to be one of those guys?
You figured it out.
I totally off topic here, but I got into the golf business because I liked the way they dressed. That is 100%
true confession.
100% true. But golf everywhere. A couple in Hayden, the country club, Avondale, of course. It is a haven for golf enthusiasts. The Coeur d'Alene Municipal is one of the coolest municipal golf courses I've ever seen, and really accessible. So
absolutely, yeah. A lot of times people think that they just hear the big names and the private clubs, and that's just not the case. There's so much opportunity up here.
Yeah. So, and again, that's all based on availability and lifestyle and distance from goods and services and all those things, but there are a lot of opportunities for golf enthusiasts that are, like she said, are just not specific to the real big name private clubs, Gazer, BlackRock, CDA National, and of course the Hayden Lake Country Club. Right.
I mean, we just showed a house last week on Coeur d'Alene Public, and beautiful setting, and someone had the opportunity to enjoy just the most gorgeous setting in their backyard, backs up to the golf course, and such an accessible way to live, and yet they're going to be able to pop around on their golf cart and enjoy that lifestyle. So if you want to do that, what other neighborhoods, if we're piquing your interest with that, would you affiliate those? Okay, look here, if you don't want to be in a private club, but you want to be able to golf cart around, where are they looking?
My mind's, I'm just totally remiss that we're sitting here at the Coeur d'Alene Resort and we didn't mention the resort golf course as well. The famous floating green is literally right around the corner.
We'll take you over there.
Yeah, we're headed there next, but I mean, come on, that's the golf course that put us on the map. So to not mention that as sort of the stake in the ground for putting golf recognition in North Idaho, forgive me for that. But no, I live near the country club in Hayden, and we use our golf carts more than our car. And when that is your primary mode of transportation, it's such a fun way to live. So Avondale and Hayden, more golf carts than cars. Certainly around the municipal, the public golf course, all those streets back in there, you're going to see more golf carts than cars. The Prairie Falls area and Post Falls. There's not as much residential near the links, so I wouldn't say that is like a golf cart environment, but the Highlands.
The Highlands.
Prairie Falls. Yeah, Avondale, the public. It's a fun way to get around.
Most definitely.
In Hayden, we call that being on campus.
Yeah.
When you're within striking distance of the golf course by golf cart. And in Hayden, near Avondale and the country club, there's 3 restaurants, 2 clubhouses. I've even taken my golf cart all the way down to the grocery store.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all right there.
It's almost like having a private club, but it's just your own community is set up to foster that.
Yeah, I've cracked the code of how to live right here in North Idaho. And my wife and I and our kids, we can literally take our golf cart to our boat slip, to boat to our cabin. And I tell people that, they're like,
yes, which check out our waterfront episode, because you'll get to see their cabin.
It's Jill's family cabin. But it is, where else can you do that?
No, it's a special place. And that's what, again, pretty common feedback that we get is when new people come in, they're like, gosh, you guys have really figured it out. You could just walk down and hop on your boat and whatever, so many recreational activities. If we've got fishermen or...
Well, there you go. Yeah, that's a whole nother aspect. I tell people often that I'm not the typical North Idahoan. I don't hunt and I don't fish. I've never ridden a motorcycle or a four-wheeler or a snowmobile. And I'm definitely a rare bird to say that I haven't done those things, because frankly, for non-golfers and non-mountain bikers and non-skiers, that's the draw here, is the abundant fishing and hunting and those things as well. So it's all on the table. It's all on the menu. Yeah,
the access to national and state land is, particularly attractive. We get people from our surrounding states coming in and infiltrating and wanting to access all the beautiful public land that we enjoy. Oftentimes, it's not uncommon to find parcels that back up to public lands where you can really extend your backyard that way.
Yeah, if you go, we're a 3-hour drive on the freeway to Missoula, Montana here, but if you go up the Fernand Saddle over here, it's a thing that people do. I've heard of it anyway. They'll take their UTVs and on Forest Service roads can get all the way to Missoula, Montana.
Wow.
Yeah, and you got to bring some extra fuel.
No kidding.
But fuel up over there and come back.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you can get lost in the woods out here pretty quickly.
The recreation, Father's Day tradition we have is we would hop on the side-by-side and go find the river, because Jeremy, my husband, likes to fish. So he's a fly fisherman. We go up there, and us girls usually just tend the campfire, but he's out there fishing and having the time of his life. But he's got, and it's kind of a thing too, though, where people, they don't always tell you where they're going, or especially the hunters. They're not going to let you know.
Yeah.
But give us a call. We know where the good spots are.
It's like surfers in San Diego. You've got to kind of earn your keep to get on the break.
Yeah. Okay, Greg. So as you mentioned, you've been here a long time, seen a lot of change. The development is really increased rapidly. And there's mixed feelings about that, of course. People don't always take change well. And what can you tell us about that? What are people, if they decide to relocate here, or if they decide to spend, seasonally, if they're buying a second home up here, want to split their time, which is super common, what kind of environment can they expect?
I'll tell you, as Aaron, our cameraman, just said, it's kind of the elephant in the room. It's inevitable. The secret is out, and I wouldn't even call it a secret. This is just that place that people want to live, and people that can do. And
if you choose to spend, if you relocate here permanently and are here as a full-time resident, there is a noticeable shift when the summer season is over. I mean, you can get up 95 in about half the time.
Yeah.
So, you know, our population increases seasonally, and we get the tourism as well. So that's part of the reality of being here. But you also get the perks of enjoying a little bit of a quieter pace in the off season.
September is the best month of the year. Kids are back in school, tourists are mostly gone, and we do kind of get our town back. Us locals love September. Days are still long.
Still warm.
Days are warm, nights are cool. But yeah, I personally haven't experienced much pushback locally. The only thing that I've really experienced in my own life as Coeur d'Alene has grown is there's a little more traffic on the highway. It's not like you would expect in big cities. I mean, I have people and I mention traffic and we have to wait at one stoplight and they say, oh my gosh, that's nothing. But to us it is. And sometimes I'll go to restaurants and not know everybody at every table. You know, there's new faces around town. It used to feel like everywhere you go, you would know somebody, and that's not always the case anymore. But
that's something I actually particularly enjoy about the size of our community is I still run into people all the time. It'll be someone, oh, your daughter was in my daughter's preschool class, and then 5 years later we're doing something else together. It's still small enough to where it feels very small town compared to a Seattle, Los Angeles, Phoenix. So speaking of ski season, in all 4 seasons, there's kind of shoulder season activities in the fall and the spring, whether that's mountain biking or getting on your ATV or UTV, being on, biking. But winter, we get a lot of questions about that. As you would imagine, being in North Idaho, our climate, the winters are long. But there's also so many activities to enjoy. Tell us more about what can people expect if they choose to spend the winters up here.
I wouldn't say winters are long. It's just the days get short. And this past winter we had almost no snow, but I get asked a lot for people that are relocating here full time, what is winter like? I say it's crockpot season. The days get a little short. It's dark by 5 o'clock.
Sometimes 3:30.
That's a combination of daylight savings time and our latitude north. But the flip side of that is why our days are so long in the summer. But we average 44 inches of snow per year. It's usually a snow thaw cycle, so it's not deep snow typically. It can be, every 4 or 5 years, but not often. But winter driving is a topic I get asked about all the time. And I've never put snow tires on my car. It's not that big of a deal. So it's
you want all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive though?
Yeah, but the town doesn't shut down. We don't hibernate. We still go to work.
School's still in session.
We are fully equipped with snow plows to clear the roads and make everybody safe as possible. So you just drive a little slower, but getting around in the dead of winter is not a big deal. But it is a question I get asked all the time.
Yeah, that's a good question. And setting expectations too, as far as how you want to live. Some people may think, oh, they want property and they want the privacy that can come with that, but there's also a reality of maintaining that. How long is your driveway? Do you have a snow plow or something? That's a real thing too. It
is, but I promise within a stone's throw of just about any home in town, there's some good old boy waiting all year to get the plow back on the front of his old trusty truck that will plow your driveway, I promise. So that was a lot.
That was a lot.
We were just talking about how to live or ways that you live in North Idaho, and it's all on the menu. It's abundant and it's world class.
It's a great life.
And I mean, that's kind of what we're all about, is just helping you decide if this makes sense. And I love what you say, where you fit in. So if we can help further with that, thanks for watching. Click the link below and we'd love to be in touch.